At first glance, raw wool looks rough, dirty, and unusable. Yet this natural fleece will soon be... For centuries, shepherds have protected these animals across harsh landscapes, turning remote farms into the starting point of a billion-dollar global industry. Before the factories, before the machines, everything begins here, on farms, where timing, weather... A single sheep can grow kilograms of wool every year, creating a renewable material that has kept humans warm for thousands of years. Some industrial sheep farms manage tens of thousands of animals at once, producing enormous volumes of fleece every season. Shearing season is the most important moment of the year. In just minutes, an entire year of wool growth is removed from each animal. Experienced workers can shear hundreds of sheep per day, balancing speed with precision to protect both the wool and the animal. Fresh wool contains dust, sweat, natural oils, and debris collected over an entire year outdoors.
Every fleece must be graded carefully. The best fibers will become luxury garments sold around the world.
After sorting, the wool is compressed into dense bales weighing hundreds of kilograms for transport to giant textile factories. What starts on quiet farms will soon enter one of the most advanced manufacturing systems in the textile world. From remote farms, tons of raw fleece begin a long industrial journey that will completely transform the material forever. Every day, tons of raw wool travel hundreds of kilometers from remote farms to enormous textile factories built for non-stop production. Some wool factories process thousands of tons of fiber every year, transforming raw fleece into products shipped across the globe. Once the trucks arrive, every shipment is tracked, inspected, and prepared for a highly controlled manufacturing process. Inside the receiving warehouse, mountains of compressed fleece begin entering the first stage of industrial transformation. Modern factories rely on advanced logistics systems to organize millions of kilograms of wool with precision and speed. From this moment forward, nearly every step is driven by machines operating around the clock. Some of these machines run non-stop for 24 hours a day, processing massive volumes of wool without interruption. Before cleaning can begin, the wool must be separated and evenly distributed into the processing lines. Behind the scenes, massive energy systems power the machinery responsible for transforming raw fleece into refined textile fiber. Advanced sensors can instantly detect contamination, uneven fibers, and imperfections invisible to the human eye. In large facilities, hundreds of workers manage different stages of production simultaneously to keep the operation moving continuously. What looks chaotic is actually a carefully synchronized manufacturing process, refined over decades of engineering. Now the real transformation begins, removing years of dirt, oil, and debris trapped deep inside the fleece. Inside these massive factories, rough fleece from distant farms is about to become one of the softest materials in the world. The first major challenge is cleaning the fleece. Raw wool arrives packed with dirt, sweat, oils, and months of environmental debris. Natural wool contains lanolin, a waxy oil produced by sheep that protects their skin from harsh weather. If the water becomes too hot or too aggressive, the fibers can shrink or become permanently damaged. Factories use multiple washing stages to remove contamination layer by layer without destroying the delicate fibers. Large facilities recycle enormous amounts of water every day to reduce waste during production. After cleaning, the wool still contains large amounts of moisture that must be carefully removed. Drying requires precision.
Too much heat can ruin the softness that makes wool valuable.
The transformation is already visible. What once looked rough and unusable now begins to resemble luxury textile material. Different grades of wool are separated for different products, from premium fashion garments to industrial textiles. Even microscopic impurities can affect the final texture, strength, and appearance of the finished fabric. Brushing and opening the fibers helps prepare the wool for spinning by untangling the dense, natural structure.
At full capacity, some factories process thousands of kilograms of wool every single hour.
After washing and drying, the wool becomes lighter, cleaner, and dramatically softer than its original state. Each strand is incredibly fine, yet together they create one of the warmest natural materials ever used by humans. Now the wool is finally ready for one of the most important stages in textile manufacturing, carding and fiber alignment.
This next process will transform loose wool fibers into organized strands strong enough to become yarn. The dirty fleece from remote sheep farms has now become a refined industrial fiber, ready to enter the heart of modern textile manufacturing.
Carding is where loose wool fibers are finally organized, aligned, and prepared for spinning into yarn. Inside the machinery, millions of tiny fibers are separated and aligned with incredible precision. This is the stage where soft fleece begins its transformation into strong industrial yarn.
Modern spinning machines can produce kilometers of yarn every single hour without stopping.
Twisting the fibers together gives the yarn its strength, flexibility, and softness.
In large textile factories, thousands of spools operate together in synchronized production lines. Even small imperfections in the yarn can affect the quality of the final fabric. Before weaving begins, many wool fibers are dyed using carefully controlled industrial coloring systems. The color must penetrate evenly through every strand to create premium textile quality. Thousands of individual threads combine to create fabrics that are warm, durable, and flexible. Thousands of individual threads combine to create fabrics that are warm, durable, and flexible.
Some industrial looms operate non-stop for weeks, producing massive quantities of wool fabric for global markets.
Once woven, the fabric must be cleaned, trimmed, and stabilized before finishing. Special finishing treatments give wool its final softness, smoothness, and premium appearance. The transformation is almost complete. Rough farm fleece has become refined textile material, ready for fashion production.
Look at this section here. The dye is uneven.
I see it. We need to mark this spot.
Advanced cutting technology minimizes waste while preparing fabric for mass clothing production. From sweaters to winter coats, the fabric now begins its final transformation into wearable products. Inside these factories, raw wool from distant sheep farms has been transformed into soft clothing worn across the world. After weeks of processing, spinning, weaving, and sewing, the finished wool products finally reach the final inspection stage. Even the smallest flaw can lead to rejection in high-end wool manufacturing.
Final steaming gives the fabric its clean shape and polished appearance before packaging begins.
Large factories can package thousands of wool garments every single day for global distribution.
Each item receives tracking information that allow retailers to monitor shipments across international markets. Each item receives tracking information that allow retailers to monitor shipments across international markets.
Packaging protects the delicate fibers from moisture, dust, and damage during long-distance transport. Automation allows factories to handle enormous production volumes with speed and accuracy. Some facilities store millions of dollars worth of wool products waiting for shipment around the world. Timing is critical. Delays in shipping can disrupt supply chains across multiple countries. From here, the products begin another long journey toward stores, warehouses, and consumers worldwide. Global textile trade moves through enormous transportation networks, connecting factories to international markets. Many wool products travel thousands of kilometers by sea before reaching retail stores. An ordinary wool sweater may pass through multiple countries before finally reaching a customer.